All right, we are live. Welcome, this is Mark Parham, welcoming you to Simple Strategies to Grow Your Business. And today's webinar is going to be on focusing on your customer. And it's going to be facilitated by me and Mohammed Zahir. Welcome, Mohammed. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing well, Mark. Glad to be here with you.
Are you ready to take them through learning how to grow their business with marketing?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to go through this presentation. It's only going to be about 30 minutes, but we're going to try to click through it because our goal is to get you interested in what we're doing, because we got a lot of other coaching programs and things like that coming up that we're going to want you to take part of. So I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation, and we're going to get started here learning how to start and grow your business by focusing on the customer. All right. Are you ready, Mohammed?
Let's get going. I'm excited.
All right. So am I. So first thing we want to talk about, we're going to go through some things about what questions that people ask us. And first thing is, what are the products and services that you want to sell? You know, you have to figure out what those products are. And I generally recommend that you pick the top 3. So it's very important that you know exactly what the products that you want to sell. I think the next most important thing, find out the customers that you want to sell to. Not everybody is your customer. So we're going to go through that tonight. We're going to talk about who's your customer, the one that really will support your business. And the next thing we're going to talk about is how you're going to sell your products and services. You're going to sell them online. You're going to sell them face-to-face. How are you going to aim and sell your products to your customer? And finally, once you have a customer, how are you going to keep them? Sometimes we don't focus on our customers, so we get a customer, we think they're just going to come back, but they don't always come back. And now that you have sales and customers, how do you increase your revenue? Wouldn't you say, Mohammed, right now that's the biggest question that people have?
Everybody's asking the question, how do I make more money? More money, more money, more money. That's it. And as you're saying, it's really about customers. It's about knowing who your customers are and spending the time to understand why your customer is your customer.
Right. And to do all this, what we have to do is start focusing on our customers. You know, so it's very important that we learn how to focus on the customer so that we don't lose them. So we're going to go through some of the things tonight about focusing on the customer so that you can learn how to do this. You know, we're going to define first a growth customer is somebody who contributes to the growth and expansion objectives of the company, somebody that's there to help your business grow. And just by definition, our growth customers can be our base customers, existing customers, new customers, and customers who through their own progress have become larger customers of the company, meaning that people that have come back and bought more and more and more and more from you. So we want you to understand who those customers are, because tonight we're going to talk about how to focus on those customers. And one thing, we want to make sure that you understand that growth customers are highly profitable customers. And a lot of times they're influential customers who will bring other customers with them. And I think, Mohammed, on that note right there, I mean, a lot of times we want, what do you call them, raving fans?
Exactly. We want raving fans. We want to treat our customers so well that they can't wait to go out and tell other people about us. That's what we should strive for. There is a shoe company called Zappos, and it is one of the largest online shoe companies in the country, maybe even in the world. And they challenge their operators to have a wow moment in every phone call. They are judged by how much they can wow their customer. Oh my gosh, what a philosophy. Again, that's why they're #1 at what they do.
That's right. So we're going to teach our people how to wow their customers. How about that? All right.
Exactly.
All right. So we're going to go over first customer retention strategies. How do you keep the ones that you already have? So the first thing is investing in a relationship. A lot of times we just don't invest in a relationship. We need to make our customers feel like they're special. And like in Cheers and Norm, when everybody walks in today, we need to make them feel like they're special.
Absolutely.
Eh,
Most people don't think of the concept of relationship when they think of customers. They think that they are customers, they are clients, they are outside of the realm, if you will, of what people that we call friends or people that we normally think of when we have relationship. But the best companies treat their customers and clients like they're good friends, like they're valued friends, like it's a valued relationship.
Right.
So sometimes you have to think about what do you do in your relationships to keep them valuable. Well, that's what you have to do with your customers too.
Right. Another retention strategy is, once you have your customer buying oranges, expand your product line. Start selling them apples. You know, just don't sell the same thing. Try to get them to try a new dish at the restaurant. They might come in and order the same thing over and over and over, but your goal now is to try to expand your product line to them so they're actually buying more from you.
Exactly.
And I think this is even a more important one, marketing partnerships. Develop relationships. We were talking about team building Monday night on the show, but develop relationships with other businesses that might offer complementary services.
Absolutely. The key word there is collaboration.
That's
Collaboration.
Right. And the other thing that's important is foster customer loyalty. You want them to be loyal to you, and you can only do that by using the first thing that we talked about, investing in the relationship. I think it's so important that customers feel that not only you're loyal to them, but they are loyal to you.
Yeah. Loyalty is a big factor that many companies are struggling with, because in today's society, in today's world, you can buy a product over here for $10, and if you go around the corner, you can get it for $9. If you go online, you can get it for $6. How does the brick and mortar company selling their product at $10 because their costs are more and the expenses are more? How do they compete with the online company that doesn't have any of those expenses, can now sell it for $5?
Right.
Well, customer loyalty is the only answer to that.
That's right. And I think this is a very big one, improving communication. How do you communicate with your customer? I mean, we have so many tools now with social media, Facebook, newsletters, but, out of sight, out of mind. If you're not communicating with them, your competition is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, it was always said to me, in my marketing days, and I would say it to my clients and students that, if you're not selling to, whenever you stop actively selling to your customer, believe that there's somebody taking your place and selling to them now.
Right. So let's recap some of these retention strategies. We want you to understand important factors to keep your customers. What are those things? What are the important factors that would allow your customer to stay with you? This is a more important one. A lot of people, do you know that a lot of people don't really keep a customer database? They just trust that the customer is going to come back.
Yeah, I know. I've been in a lot of industries where they had a little 3x5 card, and they would put the names of the customers on a 3x5 card, and that was their database. Now, certainly that was a few years ago, and maybe they're not using 3x5 cards. Maybe they're using Google or something. But is it really giving them the information they need to truly understand their customer? The answer is probably no.
Right. So what I'm recommending that people do is, right now I have an application on my cell phone that I can actually take a picture of a card and it snaps it right into Gmail, right into Google.
Yes.
But those are some of the things that we're going to work with you on, when we start coaching you on how to develop and use a good customer database. And I think this is a big one too, implementing communication strategies based on customer retention.
Yeah. The client retention is perhaps the most important aspect of running a business that's often overlooked. We're so busy selling, we're both so busy marketing, we're so busy branding, we're so busy dealing with social media that we don't really, again, deal with the factors that are specific to keeping the customers coming back to you. How do you retain that customer? You can't give them discounts all the time because you go out of business.
Right, right,
It's not about discounts. And in
right,
the end, it really isn't so much about the price. As long as things are in a relatively similar area of price, then price won't be a problem. And then the other factors come in. And in fact, people will pay for a little extra to get the same quality and to get the same service if they have a sense that they're in relationship with you. And so it's a very, very important point. But again, communication, communication, communication.
communication. And this is more important too, a
Yeah,
win-win mindset, letting you know your customers that you really appreciate them.
yeah,
And they will appreciate you for that. Everybody's happy. And, I think this is a very big issue. A lot of times we don't take the time to thank our customers for
yeah,
choosing us, choosing to get their products and services from us. But you need to let them know. A lot of people are doing these customer appreciation days and things like this, but you need to let them know that you appreciate them.
absolutely. Every time.
Right. And, and develop a focused approach to retaining and growing your customers. Just don't let it happen, what they say, organically. I
Hmm.
mean, put a plan together so that you can retain and grow your customers. Now,
Hmm.
one of the things that happens to us a lot of times is that sometimes you've had a customer and they've gone away. And you haven't even realized, well, I haven't seen them around in a while. How do you get them back? So we're going to go over some strategies about reactivating that customer that got away. One of those is, first off, you need to know who they are. So if you don't have that database we talked about a little bit earlier,
Yeah,
you won't be able to have a list. So that's why that list is so important, that you
yeah,
keep a list so that you can go back to that list.
absolutely. Absolutely. All these things go hand in hand. None of them exist by themselves, but they work very, very well in combination. So it's important to realize that we as business people have a lot of things we're trying to do. And sometimes when we speak about things like this, it gets really overwhelming. And we have a few more things to talk about. So we've only a few minutes into the
Right,
presentation.
right.
There's a lot of good stuff. Go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Hmm.
This is something that I tell people, tell them you want them back. Okay, if they've gone away, baby, 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 whatever you got to say, tell them you want them back, because it's important that, once again, they know you appreciated their business. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Sometimes people, I'm not going to beg them back. Well, why not? Okay, no. If
And
you,
actually,
if,
begging is just an attitude. It's the
that's
same
right.
word. It's just an attitude, and that's
That's
an
right.
attitude that's about ego.
Right. That's right.
This ain't about this. This ain't personal. This is business.
That's right.
But yet it is personal because business is now personal.
That's
So you
right.
got to play with that a little bit.
Right. One other thing that I want you to do is, when you start dealing with customers, ask them why they stopped buying. Ask them why, so what was it that made them not want to come to your establishment anymore, or what made them not take a look at what you're doing.
Exactly.
So I want you to understand that, so you can make sure it doesn't happen again. And I think a big thing here is making it right if it's wrong. Okay, if they don't know why, if you don't know why they left, then need to make it right. If there was an issue that they had, maybe they had a bad phone call with one of your staff, but you need to let them know that you made it right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why a lot of companies install those comment boxes. They have surveys. They have all kinds of secret shoppers. They do everything they can to try to understand what's going on in the mind of the customer. Because when you understand what's going on in the mind of the customer, then you can sell to them properly.
Right.
Then you can handle the problems that exist and move your business forward.
And the final thing in communicating, like I was saying earlier, remind them about your business. Out of sight, out of mind.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you have to stay in front of your customer. And we use a lot of strategies in social media and your website that we're going to work with you on to develop those reminding strategies.
Yes. Yeah, social media is real big for that, and perhaps one of the most important, innovations in the last 10 to 15 years. It's the ability to use social media to create that relationship that we talked about earlier, and to create that communication that's so necessary to hold on and retain customers,
Right.
as well as to grow your customer base.
So now we talk about, as you just mentioned, kind of led into this customer activation strategies. How do you get new customers? So we're going to talk about a few strategies for that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we've done things in the past that worked for us, but we got away from it. So I think it's important that you now learn what worked for you in the past, and you may need to re-implement those strategies.
Yeah.
I just think you have to study what works and maybe what's working for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this right here, not everybody's your customer. So you really need to, figure out what does your ideal customer look like, and develop a profile for them, because that's your target.
Yeah. It's interesting. Most business people don't know why their customer is their customer. And when I
Right.
say most, I don't mean like 10, 15, 20%. I mean closer to the 70% level. They don't know why their customers come to them. They say things like, I have a good price, I have good customer service, I have good quality merchandise, and I'm here all the time. Well, that's what the guy down the block says too. And the guy around the corner says the same thing. And the guy 3 miles away says the same thing. So that if everybody is saying that that's what it is, then maybe you really don't understand who your
Right.
customer is.
Right. And as you come up with new strategies, test them as an experiment. See how well they work. Take a part of your customer list and, maybe email them a certain subject line, or maybe do an offer or something to them.
Yeah.
But you got to test. You got to test. Yeah. And this is what we were talking about. Once you understand who your customer is, you might have customers on different levels, so you need to, treat them differently.
Yeah.
So I think it's important. And look for best practices. Once you get it down and, you look at your competition, what are they doing? Try to create what we call best practices regarding acquiring new customers.
Yeah, there are people out there who are doing it right. You need to follow those who are doing it right. You use them as the it's like walking out in a minefield. You don't step on, you step behind the people who haven't gotten blown up.
Right. There you go. And I want you to do this too. In your industry, other people are doing what you've done. So I want you to start investigating other marketing programs that your competition is using. If they're using it and it works, why not use it?
Exactly.
Now, once you have all this, you got to figure out sometimes who are you really going to sell to. I put this slide up. We're not going to go through a lot of this tonight, but you got to understand that sometimes you're selling business to business, and that's a different marketing strategy. You're looking here at size, length of time in business, and function. But other times you're selling to the customer, so that has demographics, age, and gender. So we're going to talk about that in our later workshops, but you have to understand there's two different segmentations of the market you're going after.
Mm-hmm.
So the big thing about this, you have two types of motivation. You can move towards something, and you can move people away from something. What do you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
You want to move them towards something.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole deal, and that's why we're here, to help you figure out how to make your customers come towards you. So we're going to give you some quick tips here on 6 ways to increase sales. Mommy, you take this one.
Yeah, set up a sales incentive program. Most people don't take the time to do the things that assist people to choose you. And so incentive programs can be based on a number of different things. They could be about rebates. They can be about discounts. They can be about, a contest of some sort. There's a plethora, as a friend of mine used to like to say, there's a plethora of ways to get people to want to buy from you. You just have to figure out what they are and present it to the people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This next one, encourage your staff to upsell. You know, that's why you walk into McDonald's, they're always going, you want a large, or you
Right.
want some fries?
Want some fries with that burger?
Right, yeah. The whole thing is upselling. You know, if they came in there to buy one thing, teach your staff, but you have to keep an incentive program so your staff knows that if they sell more, they make more.
Exactly. So your incentive program, as we spoke of in number 1, is not only for the customer, but it's also for your salespeople.
Right. Giving your customer an inside scoop, letting them know certain things, you know, like putting your arm around their shoulder, making them feel like they have inside information is always a great way to increase sales.
Yeah. It makes them feel special.
Right. And before I talked about tiering your customers, you know, that's why, like on the airlines, you have your diamond, gold, medallion.
Yes.
Tier your customers. You know, make your best customers feel special. I think it's very important.
Yeah. We have an innate desire to join groups as a species, as human beings, and we often like to think of ourselves in the gold group or the platinum group because it feeds our own sense of accomplishment, our own ego. Well, why not use those same things in the marketplace to allow your customer to then say, I want to be a gold member, I want to be a platinum member.
Right. You know, and this is like number 6, distribute free samples. I think it's important that a lot of times, particularly in small business, that your customer has the ability to test it before they buy it. You know, I even do in my business from a coaching standpoint, I do a free coaching session.
Yes.
You know, so that they can, you know, a lot of people have never used a coach, so they can see what it's like. Okay, so that's why when you're walking down the food court at the mall, you get that lemon chicken.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
And they come out to you and almost put it in your mouth on that little.
Right. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. So one of the things that customers are afraid of, particularly in small business, you know, what if it doesn't work? So you have to make sure that you have to reduce their fears. One of those ways is doing a money-back satisfaction guarantee. You know, I do more satisfaction guarantee than the money back myself personally, but if it comes down to it, I will return the money.
Yeah.
If they bought something from you, make it easy for them to bring it back. You know, don't give them a tough time. You know, make it favorable, make it easy. Yeah. You know, if they bought something from you and it didn't work for them, let them bring it back.
Let me jump in here really quickly because this whole section that Mark is speaking on is about customer fears. We have to be aware that customers are fearful in the marketplace. Don't underestimate that as far as an important ingredient in terms of moving your customer forward. Think ahead of time or think that all customers are afraid to do business. So you start out with giving them the reasons why they should do business, such as to reduce their fear.
Right.
Big point. Go ahead, Mark.
And warranties and quality statements and standards, you have to have these things, you know. And then I was talking earlier about sampling programs, you know, 30 days, you know, they can try it out and free trials. Let them get comfortable with your product. And I tell you what, testimonials, that's, I think, one thing that the internet can really do for us now is getting testimonials of the customers that are happy with your services.
Absolutely.
You know, you can get those now. They can do videos. They can write the testimonials and put them on your site. But do something so that other people know. Like, what do you buy right now without looking at the reviews? You know, not too much.
Not at all. Yeah, it's a very important part of the world that we live in. And the question is always, who says so besides you?
Right.
You say you have the greatest product, but who says so besides you? You always have to answer that question.
Right. So customer forums, inviting your customers out and talking about, you know, what their experience is with you, I think is very important. And one thing that's very important on your website, make your contact information very visible. Don't have your customer having to dig in for it. If they want to talk with you, make sure that they can see it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we got a few more ways, value-added strategies. You know, they buy something, you add value to it. Proactive about referrals. If you have good customers, ask them to send you more.
Absolutely. The best way to get a new customer is through an old customer, hands down. Referral marketing is the best source of marketing that you can get. One, because it's free or relatively free. You don't spend a lot of money for referral marketing. If you develop a really good referral program, And that's something we can deal with in coaching also.
Right.
And referrals come faster than you could ever imagine.
Right. And I think this, knowing your competition, know who your competition is. So when your customers will ask you about your competition. Why you over them? So you need to know as much as you can about your competition.
And guess what? As you know about your competition, you actually have to know about yourself. It gets back to how are you uniquely different from your competition? If you can't answer that question, you're in trouble.
Right. So we're going to go over some quick tips. Identify exactly who you're going to sell to. Find multiple ways to segment your customers into more specific groups. Segment your customer base into existing, previous, and new. And get serious about keeping the customers that you have. You gotta get serious about this. You can't forget about them just because you get new, because customers get jealous. So, and I think the most important thing is developing that database and keeping it up. A lot of us just don't know.
Yeah.
So we want.
This is the place to start. If you don't know who your customers are, you can't contact them. You can't develop a relationship with them. You're basically going to be out of business.
Right.
Simple as to say. It's just that simple.
And as Amanda was talking about earlier, develop approaches to reduce customer fears. Okay, you got to do that. It's just so important. Mm-hmm. So you've been listening to Mark Parham and Mohammed Zahir on the Cap Builder Network. We have a radio show that's on Monday nights at 8:30, and we enjoy bringing this information to you. Mohammed, you've been having a good time tonight?
I'm having a wonderful time, Mark. I love to get in front of the camera and run my mouth about marketing and branding and social media and all these things that are exciting about business. And the new area that we're going to be spending so much time in is helping entrepreneurs, particularly with those who call themselves solo entrepreneurs, to move to the next level. And the next level is about a 4-letter word. I'm not sure we're going to talk about that tonight, but it's worth more than gold. It is what allows entrepreneurs to become business people. It's what allows entrepreneurs to have a legacy in their business. It's what allows entrepreneurs to be happy that they're making money and they now have the time to spend the money.
Right. So before we get out of here, I do want to go back and talk about our coaching programs. We have a couple coaching programs that I want to interest you in. Develop your idea and start a business. That's for those of you that got an idea, they want to get out there, but they're not sure how to do it. Then we have also Grow Your Business. To develop your idea to start a business, I wrote a book right here, and I developed a whole training series. So it's 5 sessions, all online, all using Google Hangouts, the way we're going tonight. You go through these 5 sessions, and we're going to help you get that idea out of your head. The Grow Your Business is more intense because you already have a business. We're going to figure out where you're at, where do you want to go, how you're going to get there, and how to write a plan to do it. So I want you to pay attention to this because it's very, very important. It's all online at predetermined times. Like this webinar you're listening to right now will be recorded, so you can listen to it over and over again. We're going to post your comments and questions, and you can also request one-on-one coaching if you need it. So we'll be there for you. So we do have a special offer. I'm going to send this out to you. We got some special pricing on things, so you're going to get some emails on this, but I want you to take advantage of this. This is my back to school special, right? Then you went back to school, and we go back to business, all right? So you can go to Cap Builder University to enroll and follow the instructions, but I'm also going to send you some emails out about it because we just think it's very important that we want to make you happy. So you can email me at markp@capbuildernetwork.com. Now you can use the pop-up that goes to my site and ask questions, or you can call me at 770-634-7231. But I want to make sure that you understand that we're here for you. We're going to help you grow your business. I want you to tune in on Monday nights, 8:30 on the Survival Radio Network, where we're going to be interviewing people and having discussion about real issues that are facing small business today. So Mohammed, any parting words?
Just that we're not new guys on the block. I know you don't see all my gray hair, and you certainly don't see all of Mark's, but we've been in this business for quite a while, coaching and marketing and branding and working with other businesses. I myself for more than 30 years, and Mark is up in that neighborhood too. So.
I ain't as high as 30 years.
Hey, come on, you were doing this when you were 10. I know about you now. I know about you, okay? But we have fun at what we do, as you can tell, but we're real serious about improving the lives of and the businesses of entrepreneurs. So that's all I really want to say. Come try us out. Try us, you'll like us.
All right. Well, I wanted to keep it at 30 minutes, and we're about hitting there, so thank you for coming out tonight. If you didn't come out tonight, thank you for listening to the playback. But definitely go to capbuildernetwork.com. Check out our coaching program. We can help you start and grow your business. So have a good evening. Talk to you later.